One of my favorite things about OPPO Reno devices is how well built they are, both in hardware and software. Having used all Reno devices from the 2nd generation to the 8th generation right now, I can attest to that fact. The new Reno 8 5G remains well built, good looking, light, and offering very clean software. Everything I said in my review of the OPPO Reno 6 5G holds true. Only now, there is a way faster 80-watt charger included in the box. Before talking about other things that stand out with the Reno 8 5G, let's first unbox the phone. The unboxing experience is similar to all previous OPPO devices we've seen, and you're still getting everything in the box, unlike other companies that are removing the charger and other stuff. The phone is very stylish and very well done. It also feels very good on the hand. The power button has an accented green finish, which is quite good. Both that power button and the volume rockers are very tactile and very fun to click on, so you get good travel and you get good feedback when clicking. At the back next to the camera, whose bump is part of the singular metallic finish that makes up the back of the phone, there's an LED flashlight that stands out. I think I like this design more than the Reno 7 series, which had an LED strip that was used up as a notification light. There's also dual microphones both at the top and at the bottom of the device. I think performance is the main selling point for this phone. The Dimensity 1300 SoC, which is clocked at 3 GHz used here, is really efficient. By efficient I mean it's both efficient in pushing performance of apps and in battery life. Like I've said in many of my reviews, I'm not a gamer, so I cannot answer questions as to whether or not certain games will be playable. However, what I can do is run benchmarks, and that I did. As you can see, from the benchmarks, it's a very capable device. The Geekbench results show quite good scores in both single-core and multi-core comparisons, which assures me that you'll be able to run even the most of demanding games. The 8 GB of RAM, which supports RAM virtualization, allowing you to use internal storage to expand RAM, something we're seeing every other manufacturer do now, is adequate. There's also 256 GB of internal storage, which, to be fair, I don't think you can fill up. Also, take note that the phone supports Wi-Fi 6, Bluetooth 5.3, dual 5G standby and dual 4G VoLTE. It also has up to 6 access to satellites for navigation, I believe. If you have seen any of my previous reviews of an OPPO device, you know that I highly rate their software experience. That remains the case with the Reno 8 5G. There's no significant bloatware to complain about, and all the included apps you find that you don't need are uninstallable, which is a huge contrast to the device we previously reviewed. Also, OPPO's ColorOS remains one of the most customizable Android UIs. You can customize a lot, from the battery icon, the notification bar, the always-on display, the fingerprint animations, and much more. I believe such power allows you to quickly and very easily make your phone uniquely yours. OPPO has promised 2 years of system updates and 4 years of security updates for their Reno devices. So with the Reno 8 5G, which launches with Android 12, you can expect both Android 12, Android 13, Android 14 when those become available. The 80-watt charger included in the box is a very welcome upgrade to the usual 65-watt charger we've seen or had since the OPPO Reno 5. It charges the phone way faster than before and allows you to get up to 50% in 11 minutes. OPPO has made significant progress with battery degradation this time round. The company is now promising 1600 charge cycles with peak battery performance. That should translate to about 4 years of use. Normally, this charge cycle has been at 800 cycles, which is the most other phone companies promise. All through my use, the phone didn't heat up at all, even while using it while it's connected to the charger. I think that shows that OPPO is doing quite well with heat dissipation and heat control on the device. OPPO is this time round using new dual sensors from Sony. By dual I mean the front and the back sensors are all from Sony. The front camera uses a Sony IMX709 32MP sensor, which is customized by OPPO. The company says the RGBW sensor, that's red, green, blue and white, allows for 60% increase in light intake and a 35% improvement in noise reduction when compared with traditional RGB sensors. Photos from the selfie camera are usual, bright, serviceable. OPPO's AI beautification mode is still here, and you can also create virtual avatars using OPPO's emoji. The main rear camera is a Sony IMX766 50MP sensor. The company promises increased focus speed, accuracy, and stability, and I've tested exactly that with the pictures you can now see. Let me know what you think of these photos. Video stability is quite good, and the balance and contrast when changing light sources is also quite intelligent. I believe this is a better camera experience compared to the Reno 7, which I used. I didn't use the Reno 7 5G. And I also believe it's quite an improvement to the Reno 6 5G, which I also used. If there's something OPPO has held on to all through the Reno series, it's the display size and technology. This is still a 6.4-inch AMOLED panel, and it's still as good and as responsive as the previous Reno devices. I wish we at least saw 120Hz refresh rates, but that's just me nitpicking because you still enjoy 90Hz on the display all the same. And I think very many people can't tell the difference between 90Hz and 120Hz anyways. The fingerprint scanner on the top of the display remains fast and accurate. The colors on the display are bright and nice to look at, and if you love the size of the display, you will be able to enjoy content from it. But if you love a bigger screen phone, you will have to look somewhere else because 6.4 feels quite small. Like every other Reno device before, this is a good phone. And while that sounds boring for a review, it's the truth. OPPO has had one strategy with their Reno devices: offer good mid-range performance, have a sizable AMOLED panel, offer good fast charging and battery life, and very clean software. And that's it. And they've kept at it for years, meaning it must be working all through. That's why the current Reno 8 5G still doesn't have an official IP rating. That's why there's still no wireless charging. And if you're looking for such features, you have to be forced to look for other manufacturers or for other devices. As someone who's enjoyed each Reno experience before, I will say this to OPPO now: try something different, add in a little more, perhaps a Reno Plus with a bigger display, or maybe not. Because if it's not broken, is there need for fixing? The Reno 8 5G is available in Kenya for 60,000 shillings. Would you get one?